thoughts about NEP 2020, and one aspect of NEP is holistic and multidisciplinary education. I have a request to each one of you. Please be focused. Keep listening to me. The government is spending crores of rupees in making people aware of what NEP is and how it is useful, how it is very special. So I request each one of you, I know very well that you are all very busy. Along with your college work, you have to attend all these things. But if it is possible, please see that you keep listening to the lecture, avoiding all other kinds of disturbances. Be focused, be listening, and if at all you get any doubts in the course of time, you just write it down, and at the end of the delivery, I just keep around 5 minutes or 10 minutes for our discussion. And definitely I'm going to promise you that this is highly interactive. Of course, I miss offline presentation, which is 100% more effective than online, wherein we can have face-to-face physical appearance as well as interaction. So I want every one of you to be on picture mode. Kindly switch on your cameras and be on the line, and don't just give me your names and hide somewhere, and see that the money that is spent on you is not wasted by the government or by you. All right, thank you so much. It's only a humble discussion, a humble submission. Now let us move on to this. The topic is holistic and multidisciplinary education. I will be very slow, and I will be using 90% of English or 95% of English and around 5% of Kannada, Hindi, or whatever it is. I hope all of you understand at least these two languages, English and Kannada, and Hindi also. Okay, we'll start. So this is orientation and sensitization of teacher educators or people who are working in higher education regarding NEP, New Education Policy or National Education Policy 2020. Now, in that, there are so many themes. And second theme is human values and their importance. Under holistic and multidisciplinary education, we have got 4 themes. Under that, the second theme is human values and their importance. Dear friends, you can ask me a question, sir, why did you select this topic? We have already listened to many of the people talking about human values. We ourselves are teaching it. Value education or values. Everybody talks about values. But still, why is it so important these days? My dear friends, listen to me carefully, that people are saying that there is an end for the existence of the world. Okay, now the main problem related to this would be the main cause for the eradication of life on earth or disappearance of life on earth would be the clashes among people. Now these clashes among people of different countries in the name of religion, caste, creed, race, continent, nation, language, there are hundreds of diversities. We should always see that though we have diversities, we should always unite. The whole world is one. I am an Indian. All Indians are same, irrespective of the states, the languages, the cultural disparity, cultural differences, whatever it is. And ultimately, we are all human beings. If at all we need to exist in future, and if at all to see that the life continues on earth, it is only human values that will play a greater role. So there is no end for human values. As and when listen to the human values. We should keep on refreshing our ideas and see that we are influenced by talks and deliberations on human values. The lectures on human values, and see how best we understand them, we acquire them, we catch them, and we reflect them, and we see that we also develop values among others. So for our mutual existence, along with all other kinds of life forms, this topic is very, very important. So intentionally, I have selected this topic to see that I contribute a little bit to refresh your ideas about human values, influence your minds and spirits, and see that you will also become a part of this endeavor of making the earth survive with all kinds of life forms on it. Thank you so much. So the topic for today's discussion is holistic and multidisciplinary education under NEP. Again, under this topic, we have human values and their importance. So you can just see the slides. I spent around 5 to 6 minutes on each slide, if the slide is very, very informative. Otherwise, I'll just keep on moving. And there are more than some 50 to 60 slides are there. And better we go through the slides. Otherwise, this topic makes us elaborate too much, which may not be enough, or which may not be possible for me to cover it within 2 sessions. NEP 2020, a bridge towards modern education. You know very well, my dear friends, before independence and even after independence, our Indian education system has been changed totally. Every now and then, there are so many committees which always tried to modify our education system, to reform educational pattern. That is what educational reforms are. And one such is 1986. 1986, we had one beautiful trial. Then after that, 1996, once again, we had a national education policy revised. 2000, we had again re-revised. 2005, we had National Curriculum Framework, NCF 2005, which strongly proposed constructivistic educational parameters. Okay, and now we have NEP 2020, which has caused totally a revolutionary change in the whole of education system in India. In fact, you may not believe, my dear friends, many other developed countries went through in detail of NEP 2020, praised it so much, got an extract of many things out of it to be imbibed into their education system across the world. Now, that is the beauty of National Education Policy 2020. So it is a feast to study the whole draft and understand how much of efforts that the government is placing on us, on it, to see that the whole education system is updated, upgraded to meet the individualistic needs of each and every student who is studying now. It may be my children or your children. So keeping in view the next 30, 40 years, keeping in view the amount of unemployment problems, underemployment problems for our children in the future. So this NEP has been planned in such a wonderful way and a rational way. So being the parents and being the educators, being the teachers, it is our divine responsibility to understand each and every part of NEP 2020 and how much of efforts have been put by different intellectual persons across the country to develop the draft of NEP and implement it or execute it. So please understand that we have to join our hands with them to make our country very strong, sustainable, stabilized, and see that the life of our own children and our students will be more qualitative in the future. Otherwise, our country will go into ruins. So this is my personal opinion. You are seeing what is happening in other countries. Slowly, one after the other country, it is devastating effects that we are seeing of what? Violence and many other things. Now, in all these countries, we are seeing that there is a deterioration of values. So declining of values, we say, value declination, we say that. So any country where values are not flourished, where values are not nurtured, where values are not taught, not caught, not reflected, not developed, then definitely one fine day that country is going to be ruined completely. So we should never allow the internal forces and the external enemies to spoil our country. This is only my humble request for each one of you. So let us have all these values in our lives personally and try to reflect it so that all others who come in contact with us will catch them and they grow well. So National Education Policy 2020, these are all theoretical aspects. I think some people have already told you all these things. Anyhow, it is aiming at transforming the whole education system from how it is and how it should be in the future. It should be more holistic. Holistic means it should be very, very comprehensive. Everything should be taught to students. And multidisciplinary means what? All aspects of life should get into the clutches of content. And inclusive also. See that all types of students are involved in the process of education. So holistic means in total comprehensive. Multidisciplinary means it is integrated of all the contents into one. That means we study anything from different dimensions of view. And inclusive, any kind of student should be taught, okay, irrespective of their differential backgrounds. So all are one, something like that. One India, one education, something like that. So it's a very significant step towards creating a more well-rounded education system in the country of India. So holistic education involves, you see, the development of the whole person. We always say the ultimate aim of education is the all-rounded development of personality of any student. So that means total personality means, dear friends, it's a holistic word where it contains so many dimensions. Every one of us, with our personality, we have physical dimension, intellectual dimension, emotional, spiritual, cultural, academic, okay, physical, whatnot. So all these things have to be trained up through education, and that becomes holistic education. So you should know the knowledge should be developed, capacity to understand should be enhanced, application ability of a student should be enhanced, skills should be developed, attitudes should be refined, values should be developed. Now, all these things are together called holistic education. Then multidisciplinary, on the other hand, it focuses on integrating different subjects and disciplines to provide a very in-depth and comprehensive understanding of the world. Remember, the world means so many things are there, so many dimensions are there. If you take water, for example, water, a student has to study about water. So, what are the physical aspects of water? Density of water, turbidity of water, then transparency of water. Okay, then so many physical aspects are there. So that should be studied by a science student or any student. Then what are the chemistry aspects of water? What is it made up of? Is it a chemical substance? What are the elements present in it, in each water molecule? Then biological aspects of water. How water supports life system. What are the different types of living things that are present in the water? So something like that. Water means a physical, chemical, and biological. So all the three dimensions are taught together about water. Then like that, after water, we teach or we study about soil, we study about organisms, we study about sunlight, we study about crops. So like that, a student has to understand all possible existing dimensions of the world which we are living. Then only he will have a comprehensive knowledge and meaningful knowledge. That is why our NEP is striving very hard to make education both holistic as well as what? Multidisciplinary. Now, under holistic and multidisciplinary education, we have four concepts or four themes I showed you. One is concept of holistic education, then human values and their importance, then environmental education. I think you are more aware of these things. Ethics and personality development. So among these, I just wanted to have the second topic, that is values and their importance, like that. So just now I spoke to you about what holistic education is. You can just see the slide here. All students are well dressed. They must be studying in a convent. That means all updated education is being given to them. And in the center, we are seeing a person who is meditating. So that means something about spiritual. You can see the background pictures. There are so many emotions, scientific developments, machines, gadgets, plants. That means what? Every student should study every possible thing that is existing in life. So that is what holistic education is. So it's an approach that focuses on the development of whole person, mind, body, and spirit. Dear friends, I hope it's not boring to you. There are so many contents, so I'm just little fast. If you ask me anything in between, definitely I can slow down or answer your questions. Now, anybody, including you or me, we have three things in us. One is our body, the physically existing entity. Namma deha anta helteve ನಾವು. Then we have a mind, that is an operating system of the body. And the mind is situated in brain, spinal cord, nerves, etc. Mind is all over the body, according to some scientific studies. And we have something called spirit. Atma Chaitanya, we say. Atma Chaitanya, the energy, the force that is present inside our body and mind. So that is called spirit. So any person has these three dimensions only: body, mind, and spirit. Deha, Manasu, Mattu, Chaitanya, Athava Atma. So these are the three integral or integrated dimensions of the whole body of a human being. If one is absent among these three, then the man or human being cannot exist. So all the three are very, very important. So according to NEP 2020, we need to have a holistic education in terms of training our body, training our mind, and driving all our spirit constructively for the development of our country and improving the quality of our own life. So that is very, very important. So I have told you all these things earlier, and I don't know whether you need. Hello? Okay. And it aims to provide students with a more comprehensive and interconnected understanding of the whole world. Okay, all these things I have already told you. And it seeks to integrate different subjects and disciplines to provide an all-round education that promotes critical thinking, creative thinking, problem-solving skills. I can ask you a number of questions in between, but if I go like that, this topic is very vast. So today, for the time being, I am not be able to ask any questions, but I ask you these questions, you can answer to your own. Now, what are these thinking skills, creativity, problem-solving skills? They are all, you know very well, 21st century skills. Okay, there are four C's: creative thinking, critical thinking, communication, and one more, coordination. Okay, something like that, collaboration. Okay, now these are the four skills which are very much essential in the future world. But beyond it, there are so many other life skills like empathy, understanding oneself, understanding others, right? Time management, decision making, controlling our anger, image development, impression management. Okay, then developing human relationship with others. Now, there are thousands of micro and macro skills. Now, all these skills should be developed in each and every Indian student. Now, that is the ultimate vision of our NEP 2020. That is why slowly from compartmentalized education system, we are coming to holistic education, something like that. Then what are the key features? I just read them out. If I need to explain, definitely will. It emphasizes on experiential and inquiry-based learning. Experiential means anything what you teach should be having some practical experiences. For example, if I want to teach what life exists in water, I should take the students to a water body and show it. Or I can take a drop of seawater and observe it under microscope. Then the student should be able to see very, very small planktons or microorganisms that are present in the seawater, something like that. Inquiry based. Inquiry means, that is a scientific method. Nothing should be taught and explained to students. Now, please understand. The very key vision of NCF 2005 is constructivistic learning, where students are not taught anything or not explained anything. They have to learn on their own. And the teacher's role is only to facilitate learning without explaining. So that is called inquiry-based learning or constructivistic learning. And teachers are, by and large, called facilitators these days across the world. Slowly, the word teacher is shrinking. It is disappearing from the world of education or academics. Now, this word is replaced by another word called facilitator, because teacher only facilitates learning without explaining the content from the textbook. Experiential means, very well, learning by doing. Lot of importance is given to the content and curriculum, where everything is taught using experiments and demonstrations. Then encourages questioning. So that is very, very important. I do not know about you. How many of you will ask at least some 10 questions in a period of 1 hour? Very, very important. Remember, a good teacher is a good questioner. And questioning should be an instrument of making the students think in the class. Okay. And most of the students like the teachers if they are very good questioners. So a question should be asked at right time, framed well, asked well, and that should be of sometimes higher order thinking questions. Exploring ideas, NEP 2020 and HE. HE means hereafter, holistic education. It helps in exploring ideas, seeking answers through research and investigation. Now, all these things come under what is called constructivistic approach. Then, holistic education fosters the development of values such as empathy, compassion, respect for others. Now, in the next a few slides, we will see all these values. Promote self-awareness. My question is this, but you need not answer for this. What is self-awareness? You can ask yourself. So self-awareness means being aware of oneself. Means who am I? What am I? What is my role? What is my capacity? What is my strength? What is my limitation? What are the opportunities that I have got to improve upon myself? What is the wrong thing that I did today? How are my decision-making skills? How are my thinking skills? Am I using all my energy and force within my body and mind for constructive purposes? Am I improving a lot? Do I have any weaknesses? Do I have any addictions? What is the quality of my life? What is my contribution to my family, my profession? All these things will come under what is called self-analysis or self-awareness. Then self-esteem. I should feel always proud of myself, being that I am a good teacher, I'm a good citizen, I'm a good human being. So I'm a very contributory to the society. That is called self-esteem. Being proud of oneself and having emotional intelligence. Now, I think there may be some topics that maybe some people who may talk about emotional intelligence. What kind of emotions are constructive? What are negative emotions? How should I be emotional? What should be the extent or degree of my emotions? How should I express it? So what kind of emotions should be expressed at what right time, with what right people, in what different ways, with what intensity? So these are the 5 dimensions of emotional health. what emotions I should show, how should I show, whom should I show, when should I show, how should I mean, with what intensity? Should I laugh more? Should I laugh less? Should I cry more? Should I cry less? Should I feel sad very intensively? Or should it be very superficial? Something like that. So if you are aware of these dimensions of emotional aspects, then definitely it adds to your health. Remember, dear friends, most of the people are suffering from so many diseases today, by and large, which are psychosomatic, including cancer, gastric, and so many other type of disorders or diseases. By and large, most of them are from stress, and we are unable to manage our emotions properly. So, emotional intelligence is very, very important to your son or a daughter. Remember, otherwise, they may get negative things. Sumitra DC, Sumitra DC, please mute. Sumitra DC, they make noise. Okay. So this is very important, dear friends. Otherwise, you see, our own children. I have seen, I'm a psychotherapist in Mysore. I keep solving the problems of many students, especially related to children and their parents, children of broken families. Okay, many students go to depression because they are unable to control their stress, manage their stress. They are unable to control their emotions. Okay, then everybody should be positive. So that is what it says, a strong sense of identity. Now, many people are suffering from identity crisis. So they suffer a lot throughout their life. So all these things are very, very important. So all these are taught through holistic education. So multidisciplinary, I have already told you, it is an approach to teaching and learning that involves the integration of different subject areas. So multidisciplinary means many disciplines, many subjects are being, each subject is taught from different dimensions like that. So it also enables students to have critical thinking skills, creativity, problem solving skills, etc., in the course of time. So it actually encourages students to explore connections between different subjects and disciplines. So how is physics related to mathematics? You may not believe, these days we are teaching contents using constructivistic approach, where we always come across what is called application of knowledge. So at the end of class, you should always make the students apply whatever they have learned. So that really requires multi-dimensional thinking. So that is why thinking in different ways and executing what all the works that we have in our life, using all dimensions of our thinking, that is very important. So this is going to happen through multidisciplinary education. And you can see that there are many things which have been combined: chemistry of water, physics of water, values of water, environmental aspects of water, okay, then biology of water. All these things are very, very important. So water has to be understood from all points of view. Then only we have comprehensive education, something like that. So key features of multidisciplinary education: it focuses on collaboration and teamwork. So it allows the students. NEP gives a lot of opportunities for collaborative learning in groups. It encourages students to work together, solve problems, share their knowledge and skills across different disciplines. This approach not only enhances students' learning, but also prepares them for demands of the modern workplace. This is very, very important. We need to upgrade our students. We need to update them so that they survive well in the next a couple of decades, which is very, very challenging. And more stress is on experiential learning as holistic education also. Enables the students to apply their knowledge and skills in the real world context. So this is very, very, very important. Now, these days, you are seeing that students learn in the class, but they fail in applying the same thing in external world. So they learn mathematics, the basics of mathematics in the school. But in the market, they are cheated by people. Okay, something like that. Fine. We shall just keep moving. And it's all I have told you already. And under this human values and their importance, around 12 areas are there. You can just see on the slide. Under human values and their importance, these are the 12 areas which we need to study today, which we need to understand. So 12 topics are there for us. Now it's already 2:35. So to start with, we have meaning and concept of values. Now this is a topic for today's sessions. How are values classified? What is value education? Definition, purposes, and importance in the present world. What do you mean by value system? What are purusharthas? Under that, dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. What are the salient values for life? Especially truth, satya, commitment, honesty, integrity, forgiveness, love, emotions, empathy, and sacrifice. Then what are life skills? Then something like some rational thoughts. Rational antandre vaicharika, scientific. Courage, resilience, simplicity, tolerance, care, unity, inclusiveness. And concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Let me tell you, dear friends, our Indian Sanatana Dharma, our Indian religions. Okay, India. I don't want to speak anything about religion here. But as a matter of fact, when India is taken into consideration, our lifestyle, our samskara, our, say, the existing religion or whatever it is, it all reflects all these things. So social values like duties and responsibilities, peace and non-violence, then scientific temper, and who is a citizen, what are the qualities of a good citizen. Now, all these things are the contents of these human values and their importance according to National Policy of Education 2020. So we need to do all these things. So first we shall start with what are values. Fine. Now human values are very, very important. Now at the very outset, let me tell you, value means something valuable. Anything that values a human being is a human value. Look at this. Anything that is valuable is a value. Anything that enhances the value of a human being, that definitely becomes a human value. Fine. So I don't want to explain everything here. Now these are the virtues, ideals. Ideals means something which has to be followed. Something which says that what is good, what is bad. So these are the virtues, ideals, and qualities on which beliefs and actions are based on. Now, all my beliefs and all my actions are purely based on my value system. I don't want to kill a snake, for example. I believe that snake is God. I believe that what? If I kill a snake, that is a karma. That is a high-graded sin. So what I do, I don't want to kill any snake. So that is a value here. Value means any animal should never be killed because it plays its own role in the maintenance of ecological balance. So my action is, I go to temple and perform puja on Naga, or I leave a small piece of ground as we do it in South Canada, Naga Banas, which will not be used for any purposes, where the snakes are freely and without any kind of fear, they are living there. And if I see any snake, I just catch it and leave it to the forest. So these are my actions. So all my beliefs, all my actions are purely based on my values. Okay. And all my values are based on my belief and actions. So these are the guiding principles that shape the attitudes and conduct. Remember, my dear friends, attitude is very, very, very important. Now, in fact, I would rank this word in the entire English vocabulary number 1. What you are today, what you were yesterday, that is in your past, and what you will become in the future, all the three are definitely guided by what is your attitude. You are so as your attitude. You are whether liked by somebody, it is because of your attitude. If you are not liked by someone, it is because, once again, attitude. conduct. Conduct means behavior. So the moral values present a true perspective of the development of any society or nation. See, if at all India is strong today, still it is maintaining its unity in diversity. It is purely because of our values enshrined deeply in our epics like Mahabharata, Ramayana, Bhagavad Gita, etc., etc. So a nation is always identified in the entire world purely on the basis of the value system that is existing. Now, every other country today is looking at India. Most of the war-driven countries, war-hit countries, they all are looking at India to play its role in putting an end to the wars that are existing, the wars which are going on between two very powerful countries. All other countries are looking at us. That means we have got a very strong philosophical system, value system, which make us totally different. Now let us, please, I request each one of you, we are all Indians. Let us have a very, very, strong mind on our country, strong emotions on our country. So all the human behavior, beliefs, actions, they're all guided by human values. So what is right, what is wrong, that is always decided by our values. Now, how are values classified? I'm sorry if I'm not asking you any questions because the topic is so vast. If I keep asking you questions and waiting for your answers, it may take more time. Dear friends, it is against the way in which I teach or I share my ideas. And for this topic, I think I should be one way. And if at all you have any questions or to say something, at the end, we will have some 5 to 10 minutes. Now, these values are classified by many people in different countries, different parts of the world. As per Spranger's value distribution theory, we have theoretical value, a value which is only theoretical. Economic value, a value that is necessary for economics, economic development, something like that. For example, I buy something and I sell it only for 5% of profit, and that 5% is necessary for me to live. So having less profit or having only required amount of profit for my survival, I would charge that. So that is a value related to economics. Social value, trying to understand others' problems and helping them. So that is a social value. Political value, don't change your political values, we say. Don't change your parties. Don't change your standpoint of view. Don't jump from one party to another party. And don't unite. Don't have a illegal relation, union after the elections. Now, these are all values related to politics. Aesthetic value, what is good, what is bad, what is very important from the point of health, and what should be avoided. Then religious value. So religion means, let us not take that in a very confined and unwanted way. Religion means the way in which a human being should live without causing any problem to any others. That's all. That is what religion is. So we have given different names to it. Under different caste systems, we have got different religions. And we are so much conservative that we say that our religion is best and others are not. No, these are all leading to clashes. So if I believe in one particular religion, I should follow it, that's all, without causing any disturbance to others. There is nothing called the best religion, the worst religion. All religions are good. Only a few people are misusing some parts of it. Okay, so that is what religious value is. Okay, fine. Then two more categories according to J.E. Turner, abstract value and concrete value. Abstract means something which we cannot observe, we cannot hold. It is out of our reach of mind, reach of brain, or reach of sense organs, we say. Concrete means something which we can see. For example, say there is a student going on, an old woman is there who wants to cross the road, and the student is in a hurry. Another 5 minutes he has to reach his school, but he stops on the road and he helps the old lady to cross the street, goes to the school, takes a punishment from the headmaster or PT master, but still he is happy. So this can be seen by somebody else. I have seen that, and student felt it. So anything that can be observed can be called concrete value. On the other hand, abstract value. Say, for example, a tiger is killing deer in a forest. But we always scold the tiger because it is very cruel. And we always love the deer, which is very beautiful, and it is grass eating. Look. So whenever a deer is eaten by a tiger or a lion, we are angry on lion and we have sympathy on this animal. Okay. Now, we don't understand that if tigers do not control the population of deers in a forest, and deers increase in vast number, and they spoil they all eat away the whole vegetation, and there is no rainfall, so we can't have water in our home. So water that is there in our home is from KRS, and to the KRS from Rajiv Gandhi National Park, that is Coorg. And if there is no rainfall in Coorg, no water in KRS, no water at home. So if I need 1 glass of water today, somewhere in a forest, a tiger has to kill a deer. Now, that is cause and effect relationship. Scientifically, it is proved. So concrete value means something which we can see, like how a old woman was rescued by or helped by a student. Abstract means there is a value related to ecological balance. There is a value related to natural balance. And we need to appreciate the role of even tigers. They have to survive and see that all other organisms are surviving with balance. So that is something which needs thinking, prediction, hypothecation, imagination. So any value that is imagined will become abstract. Then one more classification, essential values and operational values. Essential means something which is necessary for us. Okay, operational means something which is going on. For example, you want to watch a movie in a theater. So you need to stand in a queue. There are some 20 people who are already standing in a queue. You need to stand at the back. So that is called operational value. You are traveling in a bus, an old woman comes and you are sitting on a seat. So seeing the old lady, if you don't get up and give the seat, your value is negative. So looking at her and understanding her problems, giving your seat for her and you stand for a while becomes a value of the day that is operational in you. Essential means something which is really necessary for us. For example, don't give adulterated food to others. Adulterated food to earn money. So giving good food to my child or to people is very essential. Maintenance of peace is very essential. Otherwise, non-violence comes. So those are the values which are really essential for us to survive are called essential values. Then according to Orban, there are so many other kinds. I don't want to explain everything because it takes its own time. Biological value, physical value, economic, recreational, social. Character is also a value. Being associated with others is a value. Then hyper-organic value means we should not forget that we are a part of this universe. We are also living. Our life should not consume the life of other organisms. Every organism is very, very important. So we should never break the food chain. We need to take care of ecological balance. And for all the things, food is very important. Soil is very important. So that is what organic is. And I am also living means I am also organic human being, organic being, organic living thing. So I am a part of this culture. I am a part of this soil like that. So intellectual, bauddhika, religious, dharmika, aesthetic, saundaryopasaka, good, satyam, shivam, sundaram, we say that is aesthetic, of course. Then classification of values and analysis yields to these things. Personal value means it may differ from person to person. See, I am a merchant. I want to earn as much profit as possible. I don't want to think about others. I know that I am lying, but today's target is I should make at least 10,000 rupees profit. So that is my value as a merchant. Like that. Universal value, a value that caters to the needs of all people across the globe. For example, international understanding, that is a universal value. Truth is a universal value. Peace is a universal value. Okay, like that. Human values means the values which are all enshrined with human beings. Religious value, a value that is related to religion. For example, Hindu religion, Islam religion, Sikh religion, Christianity or religion, Christ religion. No, every religion will have its own values. Civic value. I am living in a society. So as an educated person, what should be my civic values? Standing in a queue, for example, like that. Moral value or character value. Then spiritual value. Spiritual means, moral is different and spiritual is different. How am I becoming slowly detached from this physical existence of world? How am I thinking about God? How I constructively control myself, regulate my values, how I start thinking only good things. Now that is called spiritual, adhyatmika we say. National value, for example, unity in diversity, that is a national value. Patriotism is a national value. Political value, social value, educational value. Education value means I should always learn through my efforts. I should never cheat. Though artificial intelligence is there, let me not make use of those things which will always push me down. So all my cognitive decline is due to artificial intelligence. Let me try, let me think. So let me talk the help of anybody. Let me not copy it from somebody. Let me not go for piracy. Whatever it is, that is called educational value. Aesthetic values means the value related to health, beauty, etc. Scientific value means I need to be always scientific and rational. I should never believe in superstitions. Neither I believe in superstitions, nor I spread these superstitions. Now, that is very, very important. Now, today, most of the people who are educated, they are not scientific, they are not rational. That is why they are suffering. So, like this. Now, NCERT gives so many other kinds of values. So, application of the values of other culture, anti-untouchability, against untouchability, citizenship, worry for others, care for others, cooperation, kindness, democratic decisions, greatness of person. I see, if you want the meaning of any word here, please make a note of it and ask me later. Taking decisions in a democratic setup, then being grateful, not greatness of person and being grateful. Both are different. Here, greatness of person means, we always value the greatness of people. See, we say, Kaya aliyuttade, Kaya ka odiyuttade. Yesterday, we lost one very important person in our Karnataka state. So, Kaya aliyito, Kaya ka uliyito. So, we always remember how great the person was. So, remembering a person and respecting a person because of his greatness is very, very important. Then being grateful to others, GRATE, and the Kritagnyata, that is also another value. Respect for physical work. Now, today you see, people who work physically, they are getting less money or less salary than the people who work using their minds. That should never be there. So these days, everything is become equalized. Then good behavior, friendly nature, being obeyed, and all these things are very, very important. Being patient, being mercy, having good manners like this. Then to have a healthy life, we need values. Unity is a value. Purity of thoughts, purity of actions, purity in our talks. So thought, talk, and action. No cheating, self-control, resource prosperity. We need to have resources which enhance the prosperity of our country. Consistency, keep trying till you achieve the goal. That is called consistency. Showing respect for others, respect the old-aged, leading simple life, and then always contributing for social justice, having self-discipline, having self-respect, self-confidence, self-support, self-education, self-dependence, meditation. So all these things are values. There are plenty like this. Curiosity, daring, religion, discipline, tolerance, equality, loyalty, friendship, freedom. Then far-sightedness. It is not slight, it is sightedness. Gentleness, being thankful to others, being honest intellectually, helping others, then having humanity at the end. Like that, there are plenty. You can just see. I can leave the slides to you. I think the slides will be given to you later. And all these things I have already told you. Personal value means the principles and ideologies that a person follows in personal life. Say, for example, I always want to be very clean. I want my home to be very clean, my dress to be very clean, and my hair and my working place, my thoughts, everything should be clean. So cleanliness is godliness, we say. So I should be mentally clean, I should be bodily clean, and I should have my workplace always clean. So that is my preference. So somebody else may not be clean like that. So cleanliness is purely a personal value. Consistency, punctuality. I am punctual to classes, but my colleagues may not be. That is different. Like that. Search for knowledge, always conducting some research, leading some simple life. They are all personal values. Universal values of truth, non-violence, understanding others, universal brotherhood, like international understanding. All these things are universal values. Then human values, there are plenty, and a few of them are peace, punctuality, tolerance, all these things are the examples. Religious value, civic value, moral value. I have already given you so many examples. They all come under all these different categories. Then even under spiritual values, you can see principles and directives to follow a faith in some philosophical thought. So that is spiritual. I should lead simple life. It is a spiritual value. I should help others, spiritual value. I will not contribute for the sound pollution. I never make sound. Spiritual value. I should always think about constructive things, or I should always be divine in my thoughts. It's a spiritual value. The national value and political value I have already given you: national unity, national integration, patriotism, national awakening, etc., etc. Social value means respecting for elders, doing some social surveys, protection of our culture, then contributing for the cultural heritage of our country, etc. And under social value, I can tell you that any teacher, after teaching, he can become, after teaching in a sense, along with teaching, he should always serve the society. So that is a social value, like that. Then educational value, curiosity, meditation, growth of mind, sincerity in doing something. Okay, all these things will become educational values. Aesthetic, appreciation of beauty, love for the nature, protection of forests, protection of animals, then growing some trees, plants, flowers, etc. These are all aesthetic values. Scientific value means, following the scientific procedure, not believing superstitions, or not listening to anybody while making some decisions which are not constructive, something like that. Vaicharika Jagrati. So NEP 2020 stresses on several core values that are intended to guide the educational system toward holistic development. So this is what I've already told you in the first slide itself. So now we are coming slowly towards the middle portion of it. Inclusivity and equity. These are also values. Inclusivity means allowing everybody to involve, not keeping somebody outside. So I hope you understand. For example, based on your caste, based on your religion, based on your relationships, you keep somebody exclusive or different. No. Every student is same to me. I will not look at one particular student in a different way. Or I will not allow some students to inner circle and keep the others outside. I will not show differential care, concern, or whatever interest in different students. All students are same to me. This is called inclusivity and equity. So equity means, please understand, equality is different, equity is different. Samanate mattu samate. Samanate means all are equal. Equity means, Mr. Jadhav, equity means make the people becoming equitable. Make the people becoming equal. That is called equity. For example, a student is very tall. Oh, he can stand and see through the window. Another student wants to see the outside through the window, but he is quite short. So what I do, I'll keep a stool below him and I'll make him stand on the stool. And one fellow is standing on the floor and another fellow is standing on the stool. But both of them are now become equal and they can see the world. So what is needed for somebody should be given. What is already existing in somebody else should be taken. And see that they are made equal. So this is called equity. Then quality and excellence. Whatever I do, it should be qualitative. Whatever I end up, it should be with excellence. So do it at your best. That is also a value. Holistic development means I should always take care of the all-round development of my personality. I should take care of my physical being. So I am physically strong, but mentally weak means I can spoil my life. Or mentally I am strong, physically I am weak means I don't know what happens to me. So physically and mentally I should be balanced. So something like that. So this is called holistic development. Multilingualism and cultural diversity. So we live in a country where hundreds of languages are being spoken. There are so many states, and in each state there is a different language. So I should respect all other languages. If possible, I should learn other languages. I should love my language, and I should help other languages also to flourish. So this is called multilingualism and cultural diversity. Though I follow my own culture, I should respect the culture of others. I should know about the cultures of others and appreciate their culture. So ethical and moral values, environmental consciousness. Look, my dear friends, whatever we do, that should be related to the conservation of nature. Now, that is environmental consciousness. For example, I want to buy a car. Now, recently, I have got around 20 lakhs from somewhere. I got some 20 lakh profit. I have already owned a car at home. So, I want to buy another car. So, if I buy another car, I will be having two cars. So, what is its impact on the society and environment? Why should I buy it? So much of pollution it causes. So, better I should reduce the number of vehicles in my home. I should depend on my own self. So, that is called environmental consciousness. Like that. There are so many examples which I can give you. Digital literacy and technology integration, critical thinking and creativity. Critical thinking means vimarshatmaka chintane, creativity, srijanatmaka chintane, athva srijanatmakate. Lifelong learning, there is no end for learning, that is also a value. Global citizenship. I am alone, I may belong to one family, I may belong to one street, I may belong to one village, or a town, or a taluk, or a district, or a state, or a country, but finally, I am a man who is living on this earth. So I am a citizen of this entire globe. From there, you should come down to your family or yourself. So if you have a very strong nation, your home is safe. If you have a very strong globe, earth, without any violence, your country is safe. What is going on today, we always take care of our own family, myself, my sons, my daughters, my wife, my bank balance, my assets, my home. Only that. So people are forgetting that if they are not happy with if the society is not sound, the society is not healthy, their family cannot exist. So if there is country, I am there, otherwise no. So I'm only a citizen of my country. It is not only myself. It is first country. So country first, India first. That is all a value that comes under global citizenship, like that. So holistic development, all these things I have already told you, dear friends. Then environmental consciousness is one. See, whatever we do, that should be related to environment. Ethical and moral values means, please understand, we should ultimately go for ethics and moral values in life. Something like honesty, intellectual honesty. I should not lie. I should not cheat people. Compassion. I should always have what? Sympathy on other organisms. Compassion. Sympathy. Paranubhati. Empathy, sympathy, we all say that. Compassion means anubhuti. Understand others. Integrity. I am one among many. So I should always join my hands with all others. So I should work in a team. I should show respect for others. Sense of social justice. All these things are ethical and moral values. Okay, like that. And NEP 2020 emphasizes the importance of providing high quality education at all levels. Remember, now we are coming to what? NEP, which is really doing very well with these things. Then in the future, please understand that it is skill-based society. Corporate culture is coming up. Artificial intelligence is spreading its hands. Okay, it is spreading its wings, and every educated person should be a computer literate today. Every computer literate should know what is called artificial intelligence technology, but should never be what? Replacing the human beings. They should always obey our orders. They should only supplement us, not replacing us. So like that. So NEP 2020 acknowledges the significance of digital literacy and technology in the modern world. So it encourages the integration of technology in teaching and learning processes to enhance access, engagement, and innovation in education. That means conducting research, then involving in some curriculum development or teaching, learning, evaluation, whatever you are doing, technology is integrated. So critical thinking and creativity. Again, you see, these are the two very important skills. We call them 21st century skills. Critical thinking means thinking critically what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad. Should I go for this? Should I not? Shall I purchase it? Shall I not? So like that, for everything, there will be two choices. You need to make a decision which choice has to be promoted like that. So that is called critical thinking. What happens if I do like this? Like that. Creativity, in what way I should do it differently? Sirjanashilate. I should be different. Okay, this should be made differently. Novelty. Novelty means newness, like that. So NEP emphasizes the development of critical thinking, problem solving, samasya parihar, and creativity among students. It aims to nurture a spirit of inquiry. I have already told you. Spirit of inquiry means everybody should know how it happens. What happens if I do like this? See, yesterday it was something like this. Today, what happened to it? So everything should be studied from the point of inquiry, analytical skills, Vishleshana, Kaushalakado. Then the ability to think independently and creatively. All these things come under this. Then NEP stresses on lifelong learning. There is no end for learning at all. The whole life we need to keep learning one or the other thing. And there is something called continuum. I think it's a boring topic for you, but I am helpless because I should run through all these things. Otherwise, I can't give justice. Continuum means there is no stop for education. In Indian context, see, most of the people know when once they get appointed, immediately they stop their learning. So very, very bad. Now, these days, even after or before getting an employment, learning should continuously going on because learning helps us in different ways. A teacher is a continuous learner. Please understand. Fine. Let us go to global citizenship. I have already told you. Inclusivity and equity, I have already told you. And that's all come under what? Values. Now, value education is third important aspect. So, learning about self and wisdom of life is value education. Learning about self means what? Learning about myself. So, I told you introspection, self-analysis, okay? Then screening of my mind, screening of my body, screening of my spirit. So all these things are learning about oneself and wisdom of life. Ultimately, what is life? What is important? And how wisely I should use my education. That is very important. Wisdom andre viveka. Wisdom. Jnana, knowledge. So knowledge leads to wisdom. That is very, very important. So value education is an aggregate of all the process by means of which a person develops abilities and other forms of behavior of the positive values in the society in which he lives. That means, dear friends, all good values should be developed and promoted. And that particular process of developing and enhancing values which are constructive for the survival of the whole world is called value education. In Kannada, we say Maulya Shikshana. So objectives, I have already indirectly told you. It creates awareness among people about values, their importance, their benefits to the society. Then engages students to be aware of their fundamental rights. You may not be believed. I asked so many students, what are the fundamental rights? Many students could not answer. Then duties. What are your duties? People are more aware of their rights than their duties. They always worry about their rights and they forget their duties related to their profession, their target group, and to the nation. So, envisaged in constitution so that nobody can take undue advantage of them. So all these things are enshrined and envisaged in Indian constitutions. So they should never be misused. Then value education builds a sustainable future, a strong future, a stable future for the present and future generations by switching to sustainable options, with environmental education being a part of value education. So I just now told you, see, valuing environment is also very, very important. So it builds a better world for living tomorrow in tomorrow's context. Then constructive personality development, that is one of the most important objectives of value education. Constructive, rachanatmaka, Vyaktitva Vikasana. Okay, Rachanatmaka Vyaktitva Vikasana. That is very, very important, and that is the need of the day today. And promoting life skills for better living. Life skills means Jivana Kaushalagalu. So there are so many life skills which are enlisted by WHO. There are some 10 or 12 very important life skills, and around 4 21st century skills. So these are all the objectives. Another 2 or 3 minutes, I'm going to give you a break. We will stop at one particular stage. What is the importance of value education? Transforming, not transferring, transforming students into progressive thinkers. Progressively and constructively, they should think in the future. Discover the real purpose of their life. Many people have not forgotten, they have forgotten the very purpose of their life. Character building with physical ability and mental ability. A strong mind is always there in a strong body, Vivekananda says. So physically as well as mentally, we need to be very strong. Understand the way to lead a very healthy life. Create a positive perception towards life. So basically make them understand what is really life is. What is your positive perception of life? For example, life is there to enjoy. Life is there to experience. Life is there to spend properly. So that is called positive perception. Changing the way of thinking by students. Positivity and productivity. These are all very, very important. I don't know whether you are able to understand the meaning and importance behind it. Positivity. Being positive can help you so many times to overcome depression. You can come out of the clutches of death. You can avoid many, many negative things if you become positively thinking individual. And only when you are positive, you will be able to produce something. So productivity depends on positivity. If you are a negative person, you can't produce anything. Okay. Then better relationship with management and families and friends. Then purpose of value education, I have told you all these things. Okay. It ensures holistic development of children, helps creating responsible citizens, make them accountable for being human beings, to become polite, to become human beings. Man should become a humble human being. Then curiosity should be there, enthusiasm should be there. There are so many things which are all due to value education. Then all these are the methods of value education, stories and fables. And the fables are role play dramatization. Role play means, say, Patra Bhinaya, dramatization, Natakikarana, group discussion, Gumpu Charchagalu, games and activities. Real life examples can be taken as episodes. Art and creativity, drawing, painting, or making a beautiful art. Then field trips, brainstorming, Manamanthana, field trip, Kshetra Pravasa, case study, Vyakti Adhyayana, biographies and autobiographies. Vyakti Charitre Mattu, Atma Charitre. Students' presentation, this is a technique, and project method. Remember, my dear friends, these are all a set of what? Methods and approaches or strategies which you can follow when you are valuing them. So let us stop at this point of time. We shall move on to value system. I know that it was a continuous flow, and now onwards, I think I can be a little more slow and ask you some questions in between. Thank you. We'll break for about how many?